Hello, ladies. It's so good to be back with you today. And I say it's good to be back with you today. It's been 2 days. The last posting was on Saturday when we had Boundaries Tea and Me. I want to say a shout out and a thank you to all the women who were able to show up in person and those who wanted to, but something came up on the day. Just know that we had a great time. I had a great time just meeting and sharing with friends from people who possibly never showed up to a Sarah's Daughters, but we have meeting in person, but we've been in touch or we've met on Zoom. And another thing was that it was so impactful for me in that 20 years ago, when 20 years ago, it started in 2001, there were women there we held meetings. I had meetings in their home sharing about Sarah's Daughters. So that was one of the highlights from it for me, but it was great. Thanks for showing up. And today I just had an inclination. Sorry, I didn't say who I am. I just came right in as I was talking to people that know me. If you're joining me for the first time, this is Cheryl Nelson, Sarah's Daughters of Faith from Faith Five Fellowship of Ministries. And we originate and we're out of Canada, Whitby, Ontario to be specific. And I just wanted to share about angels. An angel in the sense that I think once or twice I've experienced the guidance or the direction of an angel in my life and actually seen someone. I just kept saying, that's my angel. And it was. And so in 19, I'm going to say 98, it had to be 1998. I was in the States for a short period of time, and I went to visit my cousin in New York. Now, I was in upstate New York at the time for some weeks, and so I took the train down from upstate down to New York, then took the PATH train to where I needed to go, met with my cousin, with my first daughter, Danielle, and we were on our way back. So this is 1998. And that's what, yeah, over 20 years ago, right? And it's amazing the memories that God, your walk of faith, your experience of faith, your walk with him, how when you move with him, he protects and he guides you. And remember, angels have been given to us as ministering spirits, right? And so I'm going back to the story, and I want to go very quickly with it. And if it's not ended, I will come back to it tomorrow. But just to say of this experience, on our way back, it started to rain torrentially. It was pouring down. And don't you know that the subway station was flooded? And it was flooded that trains had stopped. So the direction that I had to go back was lost to me. I don't know downtown New York. I don't know the train system. I just know how to get there and how to get out. And I came to a spot, it was so flooded, and I stood there with my daughter Danielle, and I said, Lord, you've got to help me because we need to get back to a certain point so I can get on this train to get back before dark. Upstate New York. I was actually going to Middletown, back to Middletown. And what happened was amazing. Danielle held my hand, and I saw a man. He was so immaculately dressed, and he came and touched me on my shoulder and he said, follow me. And I'm like, okay. Without even thinking, I followed this man. And as he was walking, I'm like, but he's going in the direction where they're saying we're not supposed to go. Areas are closed. He was taking me back through places that I had come from with the crowd. And so I followed, and then people started following me, going back. And he walked and he walked, and then he came to a certain area. He was opening the gate. You know, you've got those areas that you've got to use your card and your pass to go through in one direction. He just opened the gate. I walked behind him. People walked behind us. And I guess with everything that was happening, those people that were in those booths were not paying us any mind. That's all I can put to it. And he walked and he came to a certain point, a place that I recognized. And he said, go in that direction. He pointed. And then I turned around to say thank you. And he wasn't there. You know, he had a nice briefcase and a jacket, his tie. And I stood there and I said, Danielle, did you see where he went? She says, no, Mom. And I'm telling you, we walked on. I was able to get on to the train that I needed to get onto to get to the next one. And I got home on time. But my travel, which was about an hour, could have been possibly two hours or so on the train going upstate. There was such an impression and a peace that rested in my heart. I said, Lord, I thank you. I thank you for your protection. I thank you for how you took me through and took me out of into this place. And you know, I am just saying to us, daughters of Sarah, Sarah's daughters of faith, we experience things at different times in our lives. And sometimes you're like, that had to be God. I know I couldn't do that on my own. I know that had to be. Yes, it was him. I actually experienced an angel. And from time to time, the Lord brings that to my mind. And I know for me now, over these years, whenever it comes afresh to me, it's like Daddy's saying, I am with you. Continue to walk. Faith is action. Faith is action. If you are not doing what you're speaking in faith from the Word of God, then you're not walking in faith. And I know going to visit my cousin, it was something that was a healing at that time for me, because I had not seen her for a long while. And then we were in contact again and we were connecting and talking. So the next thing was to visit. And I got the opportunity to see her. But as I look back now, I just thank the Lord for the moments when he comes to us and he says, act now. Don't question it. If I had stopped possible when that person touched me on the shoulder and says, follow me, question all of that. I don't know this person. I'm in a strange place. I don't know what to do. But God, I never stopped. I just moved with God, moved in obedience. And to think back now, how that experience saved me, saved my daughter. And a lot happened when I got home and I saw where I was and I heard what happened afterwards. It was a big flooding. Things were shut off and locked down. The path trains were shut down after that. I'm like, only God. And so I want to encourage you today. You may be feeling a nudge to move. You may be feeling a nudge to obey what the Lord has said to you. Don't question his personal nudge to you. Respond in obedience. Thank you so much for joining. And I am going to add more to this because we have our angels, Sarah's. We have our angels. Angels have been given charge over you to protect you in all your ways, but they respond to the Lord's bidding in you, his word. Bless you. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I hope we can connect again tomorrow. Bless you so much. May the Lord guide your steps and may you stay in step with him as you align your faith with His word in obedience.